So friends, you may have seen this curious headline. Smith, Special Counsel Jack Smith, transfers Mar-a-Lago documents case to U.S. Attorney's Office? You may have seen that headline and said to yourself, wait a minute, didn't Jack Smith dismiss the Mar-a-Lago classified documents case? He did, but only against Donald Trump, not against Donald Trump's two criminal associates, his co-defendants. Let's talk about that, because justice matters. Hey all, Glenn Kirshner here. So friends, though this one does not feel terribly satisfying, the Mar-a-Lago classified documents case continues, but without Donald Trump. So how did we get here? Let's do a quick factual recap, and then we'll take on the new reporting. So it wasn't just Donald Trump who was indicted for classified documents crimes, obstructing justice, and espionage offenses. Two of his criminal associates, his co-defendants, were also indicted, Walt Nauta and Carlos de Oliveira. Now, you will undoubtedly recall that presiding judge, Trump-appointed Judge Aileen Cannon, did something that the law did not support or allow and just threw out the case entirely. Said, I don't think special counsel was lawfully appointed, with no legal support or authority for that ruling. Indeed, it was contradicted by precedent, including Supreme Court precedent. Didn't matter to her. This is, I think, the third time she abused her discretion and did an enormous favor for Donald Trump. So, not surprisingly, Special Counsel Jack Smith appealed it, and that appeal involved all three defendants. However, Donald Trump was then elected, and because the Department of Justice has this horrific policy that you can't actively prosecute a sitting president, Jack Smith was compelled by that policy to dismiss the case against Donald Trump, given that he is about to become president again. But that appeal continued against Trump's two criminal associates, his co-defendants, Walt Nauta and Carlos de Oliveira. And now that Jack Smith is stepping down as special counsel, what he just did was he transferred the Mar-a-Lago classified documents case from himself and his team, and he transferred it to the Southern District of Florida United States Attorney's Office so they can continue to prosecute the appeal, because Judge Cannon's, abusive dismissal of the case needs to be addressed, needs to be reversed, and the case must continue against Donald Trump's two co-defendants. And of course, because Jack Smith dismissed the case without prejudice, it can also resume against Donald Trump once Donald Trump leaves office. We've talked about that before. We'll talk about it again in the future. But now that we're kind of up to speed on the posture of the case, let's take on the new reporting. This from The Hill. Headline, Special Counsel Jack Smith transfers Mar-a-Lago documents case to U.S. Attorney's Office. And that article begins, Special Counsel Jack Smith formally withdrew from the Mar-a-Lago documents case Friday, referring the ongoing prosecution of President-elect Trump's two co-defendants to federal prosecutors in the Southern District of Florida. Smith formally dropped charges against Trump in both of his federal cases in November, dismissing them without prejudice while citing Justice Department policy that prohibits prosecution of a sitting president. Friends, can I just pause there for a second and make a point that I've made many times over the years? How absurd is it that our Department of Justice has a policy that says a sitting president can commit all the crimes he wants against the people of the United States while in office, and there's not a damn thing anyone can do about it? He's untouchable. He's above the law. Enough with this monarchy bullshit. When will we ever learn that we're not a damn banana republic? that the law needs to apply to everybody, most of all, the person with the most power. All my editorial edition. The article continues. While the move swiftly wrapped Trump's pending election interference case, the Mar-a-Lago documents case ended for Trump, but continues for his two co-defendants. Trump's valet, Walt Nauta, and Mar-a-Lago property manager, Carlos de Oliveira, were charged alongside the president-elect for a broader conspiracy to hide boxes of records from his time in office, concealing them both from federal investigators and Trump's then attorney. The two face obstruction of justice charges, as well as those for making false statements to investigators. The two men also face various charges relating to concealing documents. Investigators found some 300 documents with classified markings among thousands of pages of records from Trump's presidency that he took with him when leaving office, breaking the protocol of having such records managed by the National Archives. The boxes were shuffled from room to room at the property, Trump's residence in Florida, and were even stored on a ballroom stage and in a bathroom, while in other cases their contents had spilled onto the floor. Smith had challenged a ruling tossing the case from Judge Aileen Cannon, who determined Jack Smith was unlawfully appointed. That appeal continues as the Justice Department argues Cannon defied 50 years of precedent regarding special counsels in dismissing the case. So, at least for now, the appeal continues. The appeal of Judge Aileen Cannon's wrongful dismissal of the Mar-a-Lago classified documents case. And that appeal is now being handled by federal prosecutors down in Florida. And friends, can I guess what your next question probably is? It's probably something along the lines of, yeah, but once Donald Trump's back in office, won't he just corruptly order his Department of Justice to dismiss the case against his henchmen, his co-defendants, Nauta and de Oliveira? You've heard me say this before, friends. I'm not a gambling man. I'm not a high roller. $1 is my betting limit. If I had to place my max $1 bet on what happens once Donald Trump retakes the reins of federal power, yeah, he will corruptly, nefariously, perhaps even qualifies as criminally, order his Department of Justice to dismiss the case pending against his co-defendants, which is sort of like a new criminal conspiracy unto itself. But I suspect that's what Donald Trump intends to do once he retakes office. You know, and let's hope that somewhere, somehow, the good people inside of government find a way to continue to pursue that case. Because when we have folks like Donald Trump, who admittedly is now, for the time being, out of the case, and Walt Nauta and Carlos de Oliveira, you know, mishandle, to put it mildly, our national defense information, our national security secrets, to the extreme detriment of the safety of the United States of America and her people. When you have people commit those kinds of crimes, for gosh sakes, they need to be addressed. They need to be held accountable. Because justice matters. Friends, please stay safe. Please stay tuned. And I look forward to talking with you all again next year. Happy New Year, friends.